Hi everyone, hope you're doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, William Ruto has promised Kenyans that he will be increasing taxes every year. 2023 was the first financial year for William Samoei Ruto. Today is preparing for 2024 finance, and it seems like he is walking the talk. And the promise is that by the time he will be leaving office, he hopes that these taxes will be at least at 20 or 22 there, 22%. Remember, Uhuru Kenyatta left taxes at 8%. William Ruto, for the first time, he came and doubled the digit to 16. And he has proved that he will be adding going forward. He will be adding like that. And there's a discussion in US about the issue of overtaxation of impoverished countries. The focus is on Africa. That's the discussion. The issue of debt relief to these countries to help them get out of financial constraints. And there is a very, very strong message for many African countries to get into this. A senator who stood up to speak to this issue, and his suggestion of solution is really truthful. And still the senator believes that they should forgive these countries, some debts should be forgiven. But that will not help these poor countries so much. The only way to help the impoverished country is tax cut. Cut down on tax. Reduce taxes. And he has gone further to reveal the reason why most of these countries are raising their taxes. And some of the damage that comes in after these taxes have been raised so much up. And how people go down, the level of employment, and the wage. All these issues he has discussed. So first of all, listen to him, then we are going to continue with this discussion. Actually, this message is for William Samoei Ruto, because that's a man who is really proving that he can overtax a country, what Kenyans are referring to as punitive taxes. Now, we are continuing this particular discussion, but just a quick request. For those who are watching and you have not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing. To our returning subscribers, I must say thank you so much. And to all our viewers, please give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much, and back to this discussion. High taxes have killed any possibility of economic development, which leaves such countries at the mercy of charity and loans. So, Ruto is doing a disgrace to this country. He wants to leave Kenya so much poor to stay at the mercy of charity and loans, that without charity and loans, we cannot survive. Now, you should be asking yourself, why is Ruto borrowing at higher rate, on higher speed, than what Uhuru Kenyatta was borrowing? You see, in 2 years' time, Ruto has borrowed 4.6 trillion Kenyan shillings. But Uhuru, in 10 years, you check on the rate in which he was borrowing. It is completely different. Ruto is doing so because in one point also, he is trying to prove a point to the lender that I can pay back this debt, that I have the capacity to pay back. How do you prove this point? Just go and increase taxes, income tax, VAT, everything. Saido umeleta ingine ya magari tulikuwa tunaongelea jana. Increase, make it high from 8 to 16. From 16, the aim is 22. We don't even if we will, whatever atakuwa pale kwa kuiba kura, for 2027 itakuwa namna gani? Maybe tutaipata 30 huko. So by increasing taxes, he wants to prove the lender that we have the capacity to pay back our loan, therefore give us the money. So all the overtaxation, the punitive tax that Ruto is coming up with, it is to prove a point to the lender that we can repay our debt so that he can be given more loans. The senator has proved that in his message. So the other tragedy that comes in is that the wage, look on how people are paid salary in this country. It's peanut. It's very low. Too much low income. But you want to overtax these people. And when you lay more taxes to these people, good companies that can pay good salaries like the one he mentioned, they will never come to launch their factory here in Kenya because of these punitive taxes. The taxes are so much, they are so huge. So what is happening here? The reality is that many companies and investors are leaving Kenya to other countries. Why? Because of too much taxes. So the senator is right on point. From the time Ruto took over power, many investors have walked out of Kenya. Companies are going elsewhere. My friend who is working in a company, iko hapa Mlolongo, kule Mlolongo. Joni kisema bado utafikiria iko hapa Western. No, kule Mlolongo. And they're dealing with the soap and the jelly mafuta. So about 3/4 of their staff were sent home. Then instead of the company, expanding their business here, they decided to go and build another farm in Nigeria. Hawatatoa wafanyakazi hapa peleka Nigeria kufanya kazi huko. They will hire there. So they have gone to put their factory in Nigeria to do business. The reason of taxation zimekuwa nyingi. So in all this, you find that with this idea of William Ruto that you overtax people, you can do it, but for a very short time. And in that very short time, you end up killing so many businesses. People walk out, other business will close. So if I'm closing my business today, other people are walking out to go and build their industry elsewhere. Where will I collect these taxes tomorrow? If one business closes down, it had employed 1,000 people. All these 1,000 people were paying taxes. Pay as you earn. Walikuwa wanalipa ushuru. But now, all of these people have gone home because the factory imeanguka. Utatoa wapi ushuru? So you overtax, then you end up losing everything. So you cannot build economy on taxes. Cut down on tax so that everyone can afford to pay, and that way you are expanding the tax bracket. Many people will come into tax bracket because you will have created employment, you will have attracted investors, and everyone will be earning. In that way you collect more and you can build your own country. But building on loans, it can never happen. Because if I ask you a sincere question, with the money Ruto has borrowed and the double taxation, that Ruto policies have put in measure, miaka mbili 16% from 8%. Alafu amekopa kuliko any other president in a very short span of time. Tell me any tangible project that Ruto has fulfilled with these high taxes and high borrowing rates. Zero. That's why this is saying that nothing is put up in form of factories, no roads, no construction, no development. They're the same thing. So, in as much he was talking to all African countries, this message seems to be for one William Samuel Ruto. What the senator has said in this video is exactly what is happening here in Kenya. Overtaxation without development. Go and check on how they're spending this money. And that is the word of the Lord through this senator to a man in this country who seems to be so much religious, but without a human heart and understanding of our situation. Cut down on taxation and grow the economy. Period.